Hello everyone, and welcome to the live commentary portion of these results, in which I will be breaking down the top 4 runs. But first I wanted to talk a little bit about this task in general. One of my main goals in designing this task was to get people to use areas that haven't been used as much in previous Seaside tasks, so shoutouts to BP31 and also Jigs for using the lighthouse area. Now, without further ado, let's get on to the top 4 analysis. So here we have Salaf in 4th place, and like all of the top 4, he starts at the Hot Springs checkpoint and then works his way towards the lighthouse island like the 2nd and 3rd place runs. This run actually had him ground pounding a glowing spot at the end, however that turned out to not actually be faster, so I just ended his time after he got 5 bingos. The main thing that separates this run from the lower ranking Hot Springs runs is probably the order in which Salaf completes the objectives and which objectives he chooses to use. For example, unlike some of the earlier runs, he immediately goes toward the right, and he also uses the Gushin's squirt to hit the question block, which is quite smart, and it basically saves time over having to hit it with Cappy. Now in 3rd we have Jigs, with a similar idea in his route, but his route is a bit faster, especially since it gets 7 bingos instead of 5. One difference between Jigs' run and Salaf's run is that Jigs rustles a bush right away at the beginning, and then instead of collecting the coin stack from the later bush, he goes all the way to the coin stack near the lighthouse. Now you might wonder why he does this, but I believe it's so that he doesn't have to do any awkward movement with the rocket flower running around in circles while he tries to collect the coin stack from the bush. And instead, since he's going to the lighthouse anyway to ground pound the glowing bump there, he might as well just get that coin stack. The only other real difference between this run and Salaf's is the order in which they complete some of the objectives near the hot spring, namely when they capture the Gushin and when they ground pound the pillar. Like, as you can see, Jiggs captures the Gushin before he ground pounds the pillar, but then he's unable to take it to the rocket flower. So I'm not exactly sure which order of objectives is faster, but ultimately it was the fact that Jiggs was able to make getting to a glowing bump fast that gave him the edge over Salaf. Now in second, we have Swyman, and I think this is one of the highest placements he's had in bingo tasks, so props to him for pulling it out on the very last task. Like Jiggs, he completes 7 bingos and ends by ground pounding a glowing bump, but his choice of bump is different, and his beginning is much more like Salaf's, in which he collects the coin stack from the bush. It's really clever of him to use an underwater glowing bump, because I think not many people realized that that glowing bump existed or was fast, because you have to ground pound all the way down there to get it. But in fact, you can literally just do one ground pound and then land on that bump. So shout outs to him for incorporating that into his run and getting a very nice time. And your Bingo Task 8 winner is Awesome Agron. Now, after realizing that a ridiculously fast single bingo in the Hot Springs checkpoint was possible, I went ahead and banned that. But what I didn't realize is how fast you can actually just complete 2 bingos here. Because when designing this task, I didn't realize that you could use a Gushin spin attack like Agron does to reveal one of those coins. And in fact, from what I heard from him, it's fairly finicky to do. The alignment of the Gushin before it starts its spin attack influences which directions all the projectiles fly in, so it's important to have the right alignment to ensure that one of the blasts will go in the right direction to reveal one of the coins. This Gushin spin attack is truly the key to making this run fast, as it ultimately allows Agron to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, revealing the invisible coin and also hitting the question block at almost the exact same time. And that concludes my top 4 analysis. I want to thank everyone for making this such an exciting, intense season of bingo tasks. You really took it to the next level with your creative routes and your intense grinding, and I really appreciate the effort that everyone put in to make this an awesome series. With that being said, it's now time to see your season top 4.
Here we go, off the rails. Don't you know it's time to raise our sails? It's freedom like you never knew. 20 bags or a pass. Say the word, I'll be there in a flash. You could say my hat is off to you. Oh, we can zoom all the way to the moon from this great wide wacky world. Jump with me, grab coins with me, oh yeah. Time to jump up in the air, jump up, don't with me.